All right, let's get going.
On the
We got
19%.
quorum. Let's stand up and do the pledge of allegiance first. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call order, pledge of allegiance. Victoria, roll call.
Okay, Chairman J.D. Gonzalez,
Present.
Vice Chair Robert Judd Gilpin, present. Ms. Elizabeth Alonso Villarreal,
Present.
Mr. George Narvaez,
Present.
Mr. Carlos Gordillo,
Present.
Mr. Hector Cortez, he's present virtually. Mr. John Galo,
Present?
Mr. Paul Benavides, not present, and Ms. Elia Guevara is not present.
Is the judge sick or
We do have a quorum.
the enfermo el judge? Or?
So quorum plus one.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, the minutes have been already disseminated. Has everybody had a chance to review it, or I'll give you a couple of minutes to review it, and after that, I'll take a motion.
There were 8 board members present, but there's, on the actions, on the boards, there's only 7. So I think that needs to be corrected.
There is eight
Eight.
members present in total. The chairman arrived a little late, so that's
One,
why
two, three, four,
I'm saying that
five,
there's 8
six,
members
seven,
present. But when we're taking those votes, he wasn't there, so it was 7 votes.
Okay, on all of them?
Yes, he got here after the action item.
Okay.
You came in later.
Does that count as an absence from me, or does that count as being here because I didn't make the votes?
I will follow up with city secretary.
You should be present.
No, I don't think it counts as an absent.
You were here.
Yeah, you were here, so.
You can step out on the vote.
All right.
I make a motion to approve.
Liz, second.
Second.
George. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. Okay, minutes. All right, citizens' comments, if there's any citizen comments, we'll make sure that keep them brief. Any comments submitted?
Do you have any comments? Nope.
No comments. All right. We'll move on to the next step on staff reports.
The staff reports, okay, so moving on to the passenger activity report. The trend continues upwards compared to prior years. You see, compared to last year, we have a 55% increase, and compared to 2020, it's 122%, but obviously 2020 is a bad year to compare because all the COVID and all the stoppage. So pretty much the deployment and employment now are almost in line, while before they weren't. The employments with the deployments, as you see on the 2020 and the 21 versus the 21 numbers are quite different, but now you see are pretty much in line. People leaving Laredo, coming back to Laredo, and so forth. Moving on to the car.
Pre-COVID was 19, was the last year?
On the 20th, that's where we were hit hard with the
I know,
COVID.
so what, are you comparing to the numbers of
We're
19?
no, to 21. With 21, 22 and 21 we're comparing right now.
I understand, but I'm just saying, so were the pre-COVID numbers,
With
when did
the,
COVID start? In January of 20?
2020.
March
2020.
2020.
yeah,
So pre-COVID, are you looking at pre-COVID
That will
numbers?
be
And now it's
nine-
not on here. so-
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not here.
So are we back to pre-COVID numbers?
We can add them. I mean, we usually have it's been the past practice that we only have those 2 years here.
No, but
So
are we back to?
Are we
if
back
you-
to-
If you look at it, you don't have
Yeah.
to present it here, but if you look at it, are we back at,
Pre-COVID numbers?
yeah, pre-COVID?
So 19
Yes, yes, we are. We're doing a little bit better.
Take into consideration, this is, I mean, it's not posted on here, I know, it's just off memory.
Yeah.
Are we ahead, or are we below, or?
We're a little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead, okay.
Yeah, and I can attribute that to the migrants pretty much, the migrants numbers.
Okay.
that we didn't have those big numbers prior to COVID
Oh,
that we have right now.
they're considered on this side even though they're, well, I guess it's just airport, yeah.
Yeah.
Cargo.
That's just for the outbound, inbound, they don't have any.
Yeah. The next slide will be the cargo activity report. As you can see in cargo also, I mean, these numbers are going up also, 54% increase prior to, compared to 21. These numbers were not impacted by COVID. We had a good years on 21. Year 20 was also a good number compared to 19, and the year before has been increasing repeatedly. So cargo has always been, the trend has been upwards repeatedly every year. So we hope to continue that growth. DHL recently approached us that they're gonna start flying back with a couple of flights from Laredo to Laredo, in Laredo, and out to Laredo. So that will only increase the numbers here. Our main ones are still FedEx and UPS. So hopefully we can add DHL to those big numbers here. Moving on, the next one will be the FIS operations. On the FIS, if you go to total, the air cargo, the total cargo, the numbers are still slightly up from 2021, way better than 2020. Obviously, FIS, the numbers are not what we would like it to be, but there's still a little bit increase from last year. Still, we have support from the Mexican government and the operations from ANAM. As you can see, they're steady at 14, which are very low for the month. We continue to have meetings with the Mexican government. They're on board with the project. The last project was with UPS, a pilot program that for UPS for flights to Guadalajara, but TSA was requiring some additional measures for security. So after that,
For what, I'm sorry?
additional measures for security purposes.
security.
And after that, UPS decided to not go more with that pilot program. So now we're back to square one right now with that pilot program. So pretty much the program is right now on standstill. So we're pretty much looking for more another company to jump on board because it's not to its full potential.
Taking into consideration, this is a limited program that only you have to be approved to get in this program.
Yeah.
Are we targeting those that advertise in the city to kind of move that? Because I know we're trying to get more outreach, but we can't because they have to qualify. And on top of that, the type of merchandise. Are we
Yeah.
reaching out to the GMs, or we're reaching out to the electronic, the IBMs and so forth to sit there and say, hey, we have this program available, can you guys take advantage of it? Especially the just-in-time shipments.
Yeah, I mean, we try, and especially with the brokerage firms here, the forwarding agencies here, that they want to participate. So it's very limited, and
It's
most
only
of them.
limited to certain commodities only?
Yeah.
Five
Or five
commodities, and
commodities,
then
okay.
they have to be approved as a company as well, so.
Yes.
With that being said, we should just target the approved companies right now.
Correct.
Okay, I mean, 14, come on, I mean, the
Yeah.
expenses outweigh the profits on this one, so.
So, what is needed to expand this
The government,
plan?
Mexican government. They have to, and the thing about it, we're looking at e-commerce, and I think it's a huge opportunity, but the fact is, we gotta get cooperation with ANAM to make
Okay.
sure that they can work together with that, but if they're not gonna expand, we're limited to those 5 commodities.
And they on board right now, ANAM is on board for the meetings I have with them. They're pretty much on board. They want to expand it to open up to more airports, including in Mexico, to open it up because
How many
right now
you have, 7 or 9?
it's 7 airports. So they want to open it up for more airports and more industries. But right now they wanted to start this pilot program. But I mean, it was very unfortunate that UPS just decided not to go through with it. So right now we're back to square one.
Yeah, I
So
know
we're
how
now-
aggressive FedEx is right now, because I'm in a lot of meetings with them when I go to DC. Can we approach them, take consideration, it has to be really one of those bigger guys that are
Yeah.
working on that?
I'll work on try to follow up with FedEx. I know it was UPX, the one that was approached on this one.
And I know when I brought that up to a couple of meetings on a national level, they sit there and said, well, why weren't we invited? So I know FedEx would be willing to jump on a situation
Okay.
like this.
Yeah,
Because
and
they
I-
like to lead the pilot program, so.
And I was also trying to approach DHL because I saw a couple of news articles that they were trying to expand their fleet. They were trying to buy more planes and trying to expand here in United States, open up more offices and just basically expand everywhere. So I was going to approach them also, but I mean, can follow up on FedEx on that end. So moving on the air charter, air taxi passenger, and the private passengers, as you see, the numbers have been decreased from last year. We have a total of 1,576 compared to 2,551 from last year. This is just basically just private citizens. I mean, are really just private people not deciding to fly here anymore. I mean, the numbers are lower than last year. I mean, I don't have any really explanation to that. Just people not deciding to come here anymore on the private jets. Moving on the FIS operations, on the total operations for this year is 5,327 compared to the 5,840 from last year. I mean, the operations are basically more or less the same as last year. Still kind of low for the volume that we could be managing overall. As you can see on the bottom, on the ANAM operations, the total operations from the ANAM are very low, which comes back to what they can be doing and how we can promote the ANAM operations. We need to be working on that, and we shall be doing that. Moving on the fuel flow report, we keep, because we've mentioned on the cargo, we've been seeing a lot of increase on the cargo and also on the commercial planes. There's a lot of movement there on the cargo, so that can be attributed to the more fuel, an increase of 19% compared to last year, and obviously that translates to more revenue to the airport. The share that we get, almost 220,000 more that we're getting in more revenue. Yes. Sorry, have questions? No? Okay. Moving on the delinquent report, Jet Solutions, they keep paying, but they're not up to date. The same applies for NetJet. They keep paying, but they're just not up to date. I mean, we keep sending reminders. The only one is Skyway, which they are way overdue. I think it's more than a couple of years. So I'm assuming these guys are not gonna pay us anymore.
Are they still,
They're not flying.
I was gonna
They're
say,
not
are
flying
they
here.
still
They're not
flying
landing
on
here.
the-
They're not operating.
They're
Do you
not
have any
operating.
equipment left behind or anything, or no?
No, they just landed here a couple of years ago. And
We
they-
build them.
We built them, and they just never landed back here. So at this point, I guess, I mean, we keep building them and sending
Default letters.
default letters, but at this point, we might
But are
have
they
to,
even solid?
well, we don't know.
Have they shut down?
You know they're flying anywhere? Skyway, I don't know, so do they still exist?
We can
Well,
check,
we can-
double check, but
Yeah,
we
find
can,
out,
I don't
because
think
maybe
they're,
they've closed and you're just sending letters and
Yeah.
letters and
So
that's
that-
why
that
they're not
was-
answering.
that was a following, if they're not out there, we'll just, write it off our
Yeah.
books, so.
What, since I'm new, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't know. What are these fees?
The landing fees,
The landing fees, they don't pay at that time?
when they land, we send them a bill afterwards. So it all depends on the weight of the plane. We're working on a software that will automatically catch them on the number.
The tail number.
The tail number. So we'll automatically build them and have that, but we're
But if you're
doing,
billing, I mean, like NetJets, I'm surprised, like Ukraine Airlines, that's another defaulted one, I'm sure, landed day once or something.
That's an
Did you
updated.
pay-
By name alone.
if you go to,
Did they,
yeah,
you need
did
to
they
tell it the
pay
update.
because it's not on this one?
there's an updated,
yeah.
So they paid,
table, very
Yeah.
back, there's one.
There's an updated.
That's an
list.
updated at the bottom.
this one. I don't know if you got a copy.
Yes, it should be behind everybody's packet. Okay.
You don't have it?
Yeah.
That's the update.
Ukraine did pay.
Yeah, Ukraine did pay. They keep landing Ukraine, so. they pay.
If I don't, I well remember last month it has item mark too,
They,
so
they did pay.
they did pay too.
Yeah.
If we paid their
Yeah.
dues.
Well, I mean, like NetJets lands every day, no? I mean, the charter jets for NetJets lands, I see them here all the time,
Yeah.
It's over 90.
huh?
The
That's
problem with
over
them
there.
is that they keep paying and then they keep landing, so they keep adding.
Yeah, well,
to the
They're
bill.
not keeping up
They're
with
not
their
keeping
dues,
up.
basically.
Well, do you charge them fees on top of
Yeah,
the surcharges, I mean, after so many days?
yeah.
Late
they-
fee.
Late fees, yes.
That's late fees, yes.
As long as they're not, you can just refuse the fuel, and what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, we're working with them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're paying, but late.
No, I'm saying as long as they, I'm surprised.
Yeah, but they are paying.
Jet Solutions, still their landing, I mean, it's somebody that's
Same issue
frequent.
too.
Jet Solution, that frequent? Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You just can't keep up with their dues, basically.
Yeah.
But it just seems to be the same numbers, and everything, is there, change, or is it because of the same month?
Well, this is up to June, so.
They're
Yeah.
both June, yeah.
Yeah. So for example, if they had any landings this month, they pay those landing fees, but they just can't keep up what they are
So
due.
they're paying you, what, 120 days, or what?
Well,
You
they-
say
they-
they're always behind, so
Yeah,
they're over 90, but.
well, kind of like Shalala said, we're working with them. We can come into, Where?
Are you tracking, I mean, are the individual invoices over 90, or you're just saying there's an outstanding debt? Because I'm saying if they're paying, 60 or 90 or 120 days out, of the past invoices.
They, probably they're paying like, by invoice.
Within
and
the
then
same month.
Within the same month,
yeah,
but
within
they
25,
they
30
cannot
days.
keep up, they cannot get current, but they're paying.
So the
Yeah.
3,000 is cumulative from
Yes.
whenever,
Mhm.
January, February,
It's like a
March,
statement,
up
yeah.
to June.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
If it was my water bill, would you guys could work with me?
Yeah. Then shut it off.
So, and they charge the company, I mean, the person up front, because they're used to using them, so.
Yeah. Yeah, they do charge upfront, yeah. But we need to do better than that,
Put
yeah.
a boot.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to hire, this company that will do all the billing for us, and, because we're basically doing it, manually.
They're gonna
The
charge you a
bill.
But
percentage
do-
or what?
Yeah, it's on a percentage basis. So we're gonna try to do a 1-year trial, but we're gonna put it out for RFQs, RFPs before, and 1-year trial, because obviously, I mean, we're collecting $1.2 million, and they're gonna come in with the same $1.2 million, and now I'm gonna share this, $1.2 million and share it, yeah,
Or more.
share it 1.2.
So, I guess easy, before you do that, how many delinquent accounts do you
Exactly,
get?
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that we might not catch all the planes out there, because we're doing it based on on reports that the tower provides, and the tower is not 24/7. So you can say it's on an honor basis sometimes.
So you have
So-
somebody with binoculars out there, right?
And there's the parking fees also that if there's a plane overnight, we need to catch it ourselves, so.
So how are
also
you gonna catch it?
With the software.
with the software.
How's the software gonna?
The software is gonna take pictures of the
Yes.
tail numbers.
There's
Every time they land it,
24/7.
it's gonna be on that
24/7.
runway.
Oh.
So when they landed, the software is gonna take a picture and get the tail number.
Generates.
Based on the tail number, we'll generate an invoice.
So that would
Right
increase
now-
this number right here then,
Yeah,
if they don't pay or
Which-
just trying to
which-
find those guys.
which
It's
will
like the
increase-
toll,
Yes,
the
yeah.
toll roads.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly,
They
like a toll road,
bill
yeah.
you.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're working on the RFP, so we
And how
should
much
see
is
it.
that gonna cost?
It's a percentage of what they collect, so.
Usually when I've worked with them, it's like, they collect 35 to 40% sometimes, depending on, so they're pretty high. I don't know, working with the city, hopefully they can go lower, because that's a significant amount of money that we're just,
Yeah,
we're
we're-
getting 70% of our income, or maybe 60%.
So what did they
Yeah.
say it was, the more they collect, the less they would charge us?
Okay. But we'll see that whenever, so we
Yes.
can
Yeah,
go ahead and approve that here
whenever.
at this board, right?
The
Yeah,
more
and
they collect, the less
the
they
less-
charge?
Yeah.
The less
Percentage
of a
goes over.
percentage.
The percentage.
percentage wise.
Oh, the percentage.
Percentage wise.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they start pretty high, and I've used a couple, and they try to start off at 40, 50%, you're like, hey, only half, but I really get something sometimes off those bad clients, but then the more money I give them, I mean, the more accounts I give them, they start dropping down to 30, 35, you know, or 30, 25.
Yeah, but that's why I said, like, if we're getting the $1.2 million, I'm expecting to see 1.8 or $2 million, and we
We're
can share
trying to catch
something
up
out of
more.
that.
We're missing.
We're missing,
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're missing some revenue out of that, so hopefully we
So
can
with the
get more.
software, we're gonna catch
Yeah.
probably
Everybody.
100%.
And your FBOs are not reporting like when they fuel, or how?
Well, they're supposed to, but
They're supposed to.
also
How do you
whether
know
it's
they're
on an
doing
honor system, I mean, they land, I mean, the FBO can say, I'm gonna waive your landing fees, and we don't know. So that's
Yeah, if you
another
buy the
thing.
fuel from me, I'll waive your landing fee.
Yeah, they can do that.
so
But they have to report the fuel sale, no?
Yes,
yes.
they do.
But they report
The fuel sales.
the fuel sale, but we don't know, I mean, the actual, who did they sell it to? We just get the gal.
So
Yeah.
hopefully with this software, we'll kind of catch it all, basically. That's what we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
All you can do is say you're gonna find the FBO,
Yeah.
if they're waiving fees, you know.
We'll find out.
They'll be in jeopardy versus, you know.
Yeah.
We'll find out. So that concludes the delinquent rent and the
Everybody
separate
on
report?
rents, everybody's paid up?
Yes. We're good. So we're now
No more long
to,
delinquent ones.
to the status of taxiways G1 and G2 construction, so I transfer over to Mr. Labrada.
Mr. Chairman, the status of the construction of the taxiways, Gulf 1 and Gulf 2, we're at 20% right now. And we're just doing, the contractor is Ring Construction, you know, and we're doing the bait. Actually, we started putting concrete yesterday, so we started putting concrete, so we're on track.
So we're on schedule right now.
We're on schedule, no problems.
All right. General staff comments, I don't think we have anything. We didn't meet with anyone important this week, or?
We had a
what?
tour.
We had the youth council come in last
Yeah,
week. Yeah, we had a couple of board members also did the airport tour here. Ms.
You guys wanna share it?
Ms. Guevara and Mr. Gordillo. I don't know if you all want to share something with the group, what you saw, or did you like it? You didn't like it?
No, as I told you after the tour, that I think it's very important to have a physical view of whatever we decide here, because I think it's the best way to recommend our council members about what to do. So yeah, it was very good. Thank you for your time.
When was the tour? Was it during my vacation or?
It was,
Last
Who was
week.
there? Oh, yeah. I was out.
Last week. It was last week.
You were having nice drinks.
Hey?
You were having drinks.
I don't know, because we, on the roll call, we didn't catch it, to make sure we get in here, give out a number.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
But yeah, we saw part of also of what's going on the
Runways.
runways, the construction that it's going on. So we did see, and it was, like Elia was saying, it's good to get to see everything that happens, how it happens, and why it happens. So-
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't able to make that, but did y'all go over the new construction, like, is Millionaire gonna start?
Yeah, we're working, we still have some lease cosmetic things that we're doing on the contract, but yeah. We're supposed
And
to
then
do-
what's Signature gonna, what are they doing with the other part of the terminal?
Oh,
Well, they have that whole thing, don't they have it leased?
Signature and the old terminal.
Signature. Oh,
They're leasing the whole old terminal.
they
But they're only
are,
on one little side there.
Yes,
But I
they-
see them doing something all the time over there on the other side too.
They're making improvements and they're trying to lease it to whoever is available for office space on that area.
For office space.
That's the old terminal. They're also making improvements on the hangars, on the hangar they're leasing. They're doing very well. Signature is doing a great job.
Yeah.
Improving the existing hangars that they were way back in the 1940s.
Yeah.
So they're painting, they're removing, they're changing the doors and things like that. So Signature is doing great. The same thing as Barker Aeromotive is doing the same thing. They already replaced all the metal panels, all the wall metal panels are new, the roof, we fix it, but it's looking much better now.
Who took that over?
Barker, Robert Landis,
The park?
Robert Landis used to be the three partners.
Yeah.
So Robert Landis is in charge now, and he is doing that, and also he's getting into a new office in the front for people to come from the parking lot and get into the office. So it's looking pretty good. I mean, both Barker and Signature are doing very good improvements to the airport, to the airport facilities.
Is Miss Jackman still here? No.
Who?
Was it Jackman?
Jackman? No. Jackman?
Who was the other FBO?
Oh, that was Lacey?
Lacy.
No, not Doug.
Not Doug
Doug is
Lacey?
Signature.
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth? With what's the name of that?
it was
The one
called
where the
Alter.
government has, I don't know, did she,
Altair, huh?
I don't know what the name of the.
Alter?
No,
Alter?
I think that was Elizabeth. That was Elizabeth. I don't remember her last name.
Can't remember her last name.
Jackman. No, we didn't have a Jackman.
Lisa Alonso is here and she's.
We have Doug Lacey with the Barker. That's what everybody.
Aero Center?
Aero Center.
No, that's Aerosmith.
Hoffman.
Huh?
Hoffman.
No, Hoffman.
Wolf.
He had all that.
Section eight.
No, it was the FBO.
Is there any hangar space available for one hundred?
Yes.
There is?
Mhm.
No, but there,
Somebody inquired that.
there's only two FBOs right now.
Keleni?
We only have two FBOs right now. That's Signature and Barker.
Signature and Barker.
And in
And
the
was-
future,
there
we're
was
gonna have
three.
we're gonna have three. Yes.
Yes.
No, so there was three.
I
No,
recall.
their name.
Lavata Services.
Oh, La Bata, the Doug Lacey.
No,
La Bata was
Doug.
Lacey,
Barker, and
Barker,
Taylor.
and Taylor.
yeah,
So there's only two now.
There's only two.
Yes.
it will be, but.
There will be three.
It will be
but-
three.
Well, but you said Signature is not 100% done yet.
Signature is working on the.
Oh, there's
on-
little minor things they're
Yeah.
working on it. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. But they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, not Signature, Millionaires, not.
Miller,
Oh.
oh, no. No, they're, I mean, we already work on the lease with, Group 270, and Group 270 as subleasing to Millionaire.
Okay.
So they're working on their end. So we're already set with,
Oh, so
Group
they've already
270.
leased, 270 is already leased there.
They have a master development
Master
agreement.
development.
There are two groups, master development agreement with Group 270 and AFCO. That's Airport Facility Company, that they have different properties. And we have two master development agreements. And-
But Group 270, we already set our plan with Group 270, and Group 270 needs to set the lease with Millionaire. That's what, the part that's missing right now. So,
And then who went into where, I mean, the city's in where M&M Cargo used to be?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what M&M Cargo used to be.
Right now, but what are
And
you all
Hoff-
doing there?
That is probably gonna be part of Millionaire.
That's gonna be Millionaire there.
Oh, so the city, now the city's gonna get back out.
Well, the city's not doing anything.
Well, they have the
270,
City of Laredo there.
no, that's 270. 270 is taking that area, the
they're gonna
M&M
build
Cargo.
Millionaire.
But I'm saying, in the city of Laredo occupying that building right now?
There's no building, it's gone, we demolished it.
With the mod.
Well, where is the city of Laredo, the building that's over there?
That building 190, the one, that's the maintenance, that's in the corner of Hillside and Thomas.
Yeah,
That was our maintenance division, basically in that building.
okay.
that's
But
another one.
M&M Cargo building has been demolished.
Yeah, okay.
Action items.
Okay, action items. Victoria, can you please read them?
Yeah,
Have a terrible
so-
voice.
The first item is consideration to recommend to the mayor and the city council the authorization of a contract with Computer Solutions, Inc., San Antonio, Texas, in the amount of $67,367 for the purchase and installation of a new optic fiber cable running from the main airport terminal to the west tower across the runway. This contract is utilizing the state of Texas DIR cooperative purchase contract, DIR GBR 4359-Gray Bar, DIR TSO
By board, yes.
4359. Expiration date is 05/06/23, and funding is available in the Laredo International Airport operation budget.
Okay, on this item, I'll pass it over to Andrew.
Yes, sir. So currently that fiber optic line serves for airport police. It provides all the video feed for all the cameras that are on the west side, and then also provides to where they're able to update anyone that renews their badge. It updates the access control system, so they're able to update it. Otherwise, we have to pull each individual badge and then update it manually and then put it back. So currently, the fiber runs from the air traffic control tower on the west side and then all the way across the airfield to the north side of the terminal. And this project is going to rerun that all new line from the tower on the west and then to the south side of the terminal to where airport police is at. So it'll improve like the video quality feed and then it's just more of a direct connection to where airport police is at.
This is part of the wiring that's gonna also help out to get the camera systems to take
Yes.
the.
Yes.
Correct.
The what?
For the
Oh.
To track the land.
And like all these funds, when you say it's an operating fund, is this federal funds in the operating budget, or what is it?
Yes, that's airport money.
Okay, but,
That's airport money, no
Not-
grants.
Not,
but I'm saying it's not City of Laredo money.
It is City of Laredo Airport Department money.
So it's not from the general fund of the City of Laredo?
No,
No,
from the airport
the airport.
fund. Airport operations fund, not the general
I
fund.
understand, but during the budget process, they allocated you these monies, or?
Yes.
Are these monies,
Yes, it's currently in our operational budget, airport budget,
I understand, but where did the money come from?
from
From
airport,
revenues.
airport revenue.
Airport revenues, airport operations.
Okay, so it's strictly all airport revenue, it's not.
Correct.
nothing
Not from the general fund.
We have to
not
be
from the general fund.
self-sufficient.
Huh?
We have to be self-sufficient
Oh, okay.
as per FAA guidelines.
Ah, very good.
And does this affect the budget anyway for you guys? Is this kind of allocated to operational
Yeah.
expenses?
Yeah, it's already allocated in the budget.
Well, any comments? Anybody wanna make a motion on this?
Motion to approve,
So-
second.
Mr. Grillo, motion, Liz, second. Any additional comments? Anybody wanna add any yay, nays, or? Okay, motion approved. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passed.
Okay. Item number 2,
So item number 2, consideration to recommend to the mayor and to the city council to ratify a service to Highlight Airfield Services LLC, Adams Center, New York, for a cumulative amount of $51,440 for the Laredo International Airport. Services rendered included water blasting, rubber without chemicals, mobilization, and rubber removal crew and equipment. Services are being obtained using Sourcewell Cooperative Contract, pound 062817-HLA. Expiration date is 9/26/22. Funding for this contract is available in the Laredo International Airport Fund.
Operations fund.
This is for where they're landing, the skid marks?
same thing, from airport revenues, and I'll transfer it over to Andrew so he can explain more.
Yes, so that's a project we do about every 3 to 4 years. Over time, that rubber builds up from all the aircraft, and it becomes a safety hazard because it comes too slick for the aircraft to land, and then when we repaint, it doesn't even last because it just kind of wipes off. So, and then the increased cost came from we're gonna have to do it at 2 separate times because one runway is closed for construction. So we need to keep the other runway open.
And you can't use chemicals, or what?
No, it's just basically like a high pressure steamer, and it also protects the joint seals for the runway as well.
And the 51,000 is just for this part one, or is it for both?
For both, including 2 mobilizations for them to come out.
And you already included this as part of your operational expenses for the previous years, right? So-
Correct.
That's correct.
All right, any comments on this? Anybody like to make a motion on this?
Motion.
Second? Carlos?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
This is something that from a maintenance needed.
Yeah. Sounds
Exactly,
like
that is maintenance. We need to do it every 3 or 4 years.
It's not like,
Take into consideration, do it every 3 or 4 years, I'm sure you have to budget for this as well.
Yes,
so you
that
guys
is
are aware of
correct.
this.
That's correct.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, item number 3, it's a little wordy and so bear with me, okay? So considerations, it's a, considerations to recommend to the mayor and the city council a resolution of the city of Laredo authorizing the interim city manager to execute an amendment to the chapter 380 agreement with Transportes Aeromar S.A. de CV related to the enhancement of economic development, growth, job opportunities for citizens of Laredo, retail sales and other businesses and commercial activity in Laredo, Texas and surrounding areas by providing access to low-cost, nonstop air transportation. The city and Aeromar S.A. de CV have agreed that up until August 14th, 2022, Aeromar shall provide 3 round-trip flights per week to operate on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and beginning on August 15th, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, Transportes Aeromar shall operate 2 round-trip flights per week to operate Mondays and Fridays. The city and Transportes Aeromar have also agreed that the city of Laredo will pay Transportes Aeromar S.A. de CV an equal amount to $42,110 on or before the 15th of each month, beginning on August 22 and ending in December 22. The city shall not exceed paying the company more than a total obligation of $552,550 for the full year of 2022. The city shall continue to receive 142 seats per month until and including December 22, in addition to 513 seats purchased prior to August 1st, 2022, but not redeemed for tickets prior to July 1st, 2022. Said seats will be available to the traveling public for a price of $350 round trip, including all taxes and fees. Funding is available in the Capital Improvement Fund.
Whoa, okay.
Why is it coming from capital improvement fund?
Okay, because the monies cannot come from the airport fund, these ones.
No, but why isn't that hotel motel?
Well, you can, that's
So it's
you
not a
know.
capital improvement.
No, but we had the money there, it was transferred before there from the hotel motel fund priorly. It was from the $1 million that it was from the year before. So it's funds that were available there from prior years.
As an advisory board, I know this is a lot of money going out there. We already had this discussion before. They came to try to renegotiate. That's one of the things that we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
If we just say no, what's plan B?
Well, plan B here, I mean, if we say no to this, I mean, they will just pull the plug and leave Laredo, basically.
Right now, I know that the city gets reimbursed by that $357 that or the airport, whoever the funding comes from gets reimbursed.
Well, that's what I
How
wanted
much
to
is that being reimbursed? What, based on the numbers from the 400, I believe it was 42,000 a month. Off that 350, how much of that is being thrown back into that fund to complement that, to make sure that we try to meet our goals?
That's a subsidy.
Yeah,
It's a subsidy.
basically, and it's, we're looking at that because we're subsidizing companies to stay here.
Yes.
And I know our intent, but is it really being utilized? And take into consideration, I know that, we want that direct flight, and it's just one flight to Mexico City. Mexican brokers are the one, and forwarders are using it to visit clients, but is it really being used?
The way that it works is, I know it's kind of confusing, the wording that it's here. I mean, it's just basically straight from the contract, nothing less. But the way that it works is basically the flight is, the total cost is $600. So if the city wouldn't put any money on it, you were looking into paying $600 for a round trip with luggage and everything. So you were looking at $600. So the city is paying $250 per ticket up to 143 tickets per month
For passengers to have that.
per passenger to have a $350 flight. So you go in and you put the code Visit Laredo, visit LRD
Let me,
to get.
let me stop you so I can,
Yeah.
I'm new and I didn't get to go over any of this. So they have how many seats available per month?
Well, you're looking at a plane that has 63. It's an ATR. So you're looking at 63 times 3
So 100,
per
189,
That's per,
week
week.
times 4.
times 4? So 750, 756.
63 times
72 or
3
72.
per 4. So 756 monthly, and we have
And you're guaranteeing 143 seats?
142 seats.
Yeah.
142 seats, okay. But only guaranteeing $250 of 142 seats,
Yes.
right?
That's correct.
So that was the original deal.
Is that right?
So I had a question. So
Yes.
it's being reduced from 3 to 2.
That's gonna in August because that's known to be brutal
Okay.
brutal months
So
for
then
the
the
airlines.
42,000, okay, so what I wanna know is, are we gonna pay more? Add more to
We're gonna-
the subsidy or the
That's
contract?
295, that's 300.
Yeah, we're gonna end up paying 552,550, which is still less than the 980 that we paid the first year. That's still a good point on my view to keep the flight. I mean, we're not considering that the reason for this is obviously, I mean, the ridership is not there. I mean, they're flying with a load factor in the 20s, low 20s, and the gas prices. I mean, the gas prices they're killing them. They're killing them, and they haven't increased the price of their
So
fares.
I have another comment, because, and I was talking to Mr. Gonzalez when we were coming up. Somebody's marketing this.
Yes.
I watch TV, I'm on media, social media, because of the work we do and everything. I have never seen an ad. If I can tell some friends of mine, you wanna go to Mexico City for $350, they'll jump on it. I don't hear it. I mean, who's marketing this?
There's no social media platform.
There's nothing, not even on TV,
That you can do for free.
not even on television.
started that.
So somebody has to market it. If you have this product, and if you don't tell anybody about it, and if you're just focusing on certain people, certain businesses, it's not
We
gonna
we
work.
started a campaign recently, a streaming campaign, because that's where I think that's where the market is.
But where in the streaming campaign? If you can tell
So,
us.
so how it works is, it's a digital campaign that's gonna hit, zip code 78041 all the way to 7845, right? So if you're watching Netflix, Hulu, you're gonna get a 30-second video of the flight. That's the lowest, or cheapest way of the airport. We're gonna pay $5,800 a month for that digital campaign to do. We tried to either going into television, we're talking about in the 40,000 a month, way expensive, and we're kind of like doing it as a trial basis to see, we're doing it for 3 months to see how that's gonna impact the passengers. I met with the marketing company we have with the airport, and they started seeing a lot of numbers. Aeromat also did say that in the month of June, they started seeing a bunch of passengers starting buying tickets.
You
we
said
need
there
to-
was 20 average, so what?
We need to see, well,
Who's doing the
these,
Facebook?
well, these numbers that Mr.
Twitter.
Sanchez just said, it's basically before the digital campaign. We're gonna start seeing that impact in the next month or so.
But who's doing Facebook and Twitter now?
So we have a marketing company called Madison Avenue.
Madison
That's her,
Avenue.
that's her company for the airport, that
Local company.
local company that oversees Facebook or basically social media platforms for the airport.
But I've never seen
Yeah.
it on Facebook.
Nobody's seen it?
That's Instagram.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there,
It's there.
but this is Instagram.
But it's
And
on
there's
the
posts-
airport's Facebook
There-
account?
There's posts every day, posts every day.
Go to Laredo International Airport,
Yeah.
not
We-
the city
at
of
the, at the
Laredo.
beginning, we had an issue with the original Facebook account that was created back in, I don't know, 8
Nobody's
years
seen it.
ago,
I,
where, yeah, check it out.
No,
Um,
but, you know, and pardon me, I don't mean to interrupt or anything, but the thing is, we're not seeing the marketing. For the amount of money that we're putting into this, now they're reducing it, now we're having to pay more money.
Well, and let me just interrupt you there, I'm sorry, but the reduced fly is because they know the month of August and October, they are brutal for the industry, but that doesn't mean that if the demand is there, they'll bring back the flight. I mean, they're not close to that. I mean, we're just trying to minimize the loss, because right now they're looking at a 70,000 loss per month.
They are,
just
or we
don't
are.
do
They are.
They have it on $250 before June 30th, 22.
Yeah.
My
It's
question to
good.
you
I don't
on this
mind.
company, we've had them for already a
Please.
year and a half.
It's there.
Our Sunline
They're there.
Financial
$250
Sound, are they
before June
meant to-
30th, I
are
don't mind.
they
That's Instagram.
managing or in the
It is
black
there.
or in the red, and is it worthwhile for
Laredo
us?
International Airport.
And I
The
can- I
news
can-
are not very
it says
promising, at least in Mexico.
So we're gonna authorize this for this year, and they go
How do
under
you
within the next
blast it?
month or two.
That's a
We're-
good one.
It's what's gonna happen with the contract.
That's why we're putting some clause there on we're requiring some pro formas, and we're not gonna pay until the 15th of the month or so on, not at the beginning of the month, so they can bail on us at the end of the month or so. We're not paying upfront for services. So, I mean, we're protecting
And if they
ourselves as
miss a
much as
flight,
we
what
can.
happens? Is there a clause in there if they miss a flight?
Mm,
I didn't see it.
A lot of that happens.
They have some clause there that, there are some, protections for them. I mean,
No, protection
they're,
for us.
for us, I mean, they cannot cancel a flight for, just because they want to. I mean, there's just
Pilots
like
time down, or, you know,
pilots.
bad maintenance on plane, do they have that in there?
Maintenance.
or no?
Well, usually it's a
Yeah.
weather too.
Yeah,
Weather-related.
weather.
Those three can't.
like,
Is
yeah,
that gonna
When
be
do they have to
cost?
make it up?
yeah, they will have to make it up.
Either extend the contract, you know, where they,
We already had an agreed contract, and now they're coming to us because obviously they felt they needed to renegotiate because somebody's hurting. And we
Well-
weren't, you know, so I know, taking that consideration, I know, this is where it comes to us here. I know that we had a hard fought, discussed battle when we were initially working on this, more with the private sector. And we kinda leaned on the city to help us out, so the city took over 100%.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with the private sector opting to buy at least 20%, I think, of those vouchers that that you've been discussing,
Yeah.
is this really beneficial for us? I know that the flight's awesome,
Yeah.
but taking into consideration the amount of money we have to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm total for this route. I think it has potential. I mean, it's just been hit with it started in the middle of the pandemic, and then now it's been hit with fuel prices. So it's been terrible.
Is this gonna be on the next, agenda item, or can we do more research on this?
It's gonna be on the next agenda. I mean, they're on
Next
waiting on us
next
right now.
Monday, the 18th.
next Monday.
The
Yeah,
18th.
So we have to basically vote here, we can't
Yeah.
postpone this to do further review.
yeah. They
So you
came.
do-
They came. We had not the CEO, but the second in command here came in, and we met with Mr. Selman.
Should be, give me $500,000.
And
I just feel there's more marketing that needs to be done.
and we're doing
Do a week on television. Right now it's summertime. If somebody sees that there's $350, what is it, $350 round trip, you'll get,
People are driving to Monterey.
yes.
The digital campaign, of course,
We need to
asking
know it's
asking to Madison Avenue was the lowest, cheapest way to do it.
Yeah, but is it effective?
Yeah.
So we just started. Let me show you the video really quick.
Well,
This is
give me the numbers again, I'm sorry, so it's how many flights a week?
3 times.
3 times a week,
So
so
here it
it's
is.
round trip.
Currently,
and
but
they're
they're
gonna reduce
asking
it
for
to
only two.
No, well, I'm saying August and October, August, September, October is
It's two.
Back in-
two, because that's when ridership goes
Courtesy.
down. No sense having a plane if you don't have ridership.
Wait,
And right now, they're averaging
Lo ve
20
Para que lo vea Liz.
20
20
people a
seats,
flight, 20 seats a flight.
20% of the
Just said
occupancy,
please.
so, yeah, you're
20%.
looking, you're looking at,
Flying direct to Mexico
It's
City
10,
from
15
Laredo is
people.
easy as
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 with IOMI. 1, get your tickets at iomai.mx.
But they're still taking a loss. You said there was a.
They're taking a loss, the month of May, they show us a loss of 70,000,
Time of your life in Mexico
Even with our subsidized income.
yes, because of fuel prices.
70,000.
They were, they started the,
It's a
they
nice
started,
one. I've never seen it.
they
Well, it just
started, they started the
2
year
weeks ago.
good,
How many weeks
the
ago?
2 weeks
ridership
ago.
was picking up, but then the
2
fuel
weeks
price
ago.
increased.
Because of course we started seeing.
What does that plane need to break even?
They say with a 40% load capacity, they will break even
20%
Without
off.
subsidy or with subsidy?
with the subsidy.
So
Or without
20%
subsidy?
With
No, wait.
Without, how
I
much?
know,
would
but
it be
without? I mean,
without most of the airlines, they would probably say about 60%, 65%.
I just don't know who it's benefiting.
I know at the end of the day, the city council is going to want, and we can even say no, and if the city council says yes, it's gonna be yes, but really, truly, and this is just me, I just feel there's more marketing that needs to, I know it just started, but, and that's a great, video, but let's not limit, I'll be honest, I am not on Instagram. You know, I'm not, you know,
Facebook.
and many of my friends are just like, Facebook is where we go to, right? And
Our
we could say
generation.
that our generation are the ones who are now spending more on our own vacations, so, all that digital is
millennials.
fine and everything, but I just really truly think that, marketing needs to be improved.
Yeah.
That's
No,
just my,
absolutely.
that's the way I feel.
Absolutely, and that's the route we're going. I mean, we're helping them out as much as we can, and we'll do as much as we can. I mean, we believe that route can be successful, and
I still
mean, we'll
think
do it.
TV, at least do it 1 week, 2 weeks. I know at work, when we offer something and we put it on the news, next day we're saturated. Especially 350, where do you see 350 round trip?
We tried to contact the, TV stations. They required a contract of 6 months to a year. They don't let us do like a week or 2 weeks, or we've tried it,
Really?
yeah.
We do
What?
it, we do it.
We do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I buy a lot of hats,
Well, yeah,
time to time.
but I think they see the, I don't know, they see
The
the market.
clientele,
Yeah,
they
they
got the
see.
You
clientele.
just,
the
you
city
go,
with
No,
that.
you just,
you
Get
go,
contract.
you can go through a media matters type thing where they just, media person, and they buy the time. So you don't have to buy the time.
yeah.
Subcontract that.
Politicians do it whenever they're ready for it. We could take.
It's
But,
very
but what I'm trying to say is
Yeah.
don't,
No, well,
and
we'll look-
whoever you're working with, don't limit it to the social media.
We'll
Like
do
I
it.
said, I haven't,
And where is the budget, I'm sorry,
We'll
where is the
try.
budget for this, for the advertising to subsidize this? How much money do you have?
No, it's on our regular
Yeah, but how much are you
advertisement.
spending?
No, but it should be associated with this. So if you say I'm
And,
gonna spend, let's just say 700,000, and I'm gonna keep 100,000 for
The agreement,
advertising,
yeah.
and 600,000 go to the airline.
Yeah, well, it's also part of the CVB's budget. I know CVB also advertises, but CVB advertises
In
in
Mexico City.
Ciudad de Mexico because they also bring
advertise
us.
here, there's a lot of people that.
Well,
that are taking
CVB has to
vacation.
bring beds.
Beds too,
to-
the
How about,
hotels.
have you done a study on who's actually been on the flights to sit there see how to
Who's your customer?
further outreach at the customer that's actually on the plane right now or no?
Surveys.
That's
Yeah,
the thing
that's-
we've required from Aeromar. They don't have the way to track the exact customer.
Right, and then you can't share their
Yeah,
feedback or.
so by doing this digital campaign, it's gonna help us a lot and see actually what zip code is buying more tickets, what zip code we need to target more. We're not targeting, zip codes where we know that they're not gonna travel, So we're gonna start seeing those analytics in the next week or two. I
Maybe
can,
they
I
don't
can,
travel because everything is expensive, and I go back to like for $350.
Well, we have people complain that $350
It was
from the
$250.
private sector, complaining that it's too high.
And it was
Well, I
$250.
did know several people that just drove to San Antonio to fly to Monterrey, I mean,
Yeah.
Mexico City because
Yeah,
they didn't even know
They
about it.
didn't
and people
know
go from
about
Nuevo
it.
Laredo,
When-
from Nuevo Laredo to Mexico
when
City,
it
and
was,
people go from
when it was
San Antonio.
$250,
Because they complain that $350 too much,
No,
and
but
that's
still have
from the
people not
private
buying
sector,
those
you
But
know
how
the
much is
people.
a ticket from San Antonio?
I don't know.
Gotta be $350 or more.
More.
And
No, it'll be more.
sometimes people from security, they fly San Antonio, Monterrey, because they don't wanna drive anymore.
Well, I'm saying, so, I
Yeah,
mean,
right now there's a conference at the Mexican Brokers Conference in Veracruz, and it's a huge opportunity, but I know people are driving to Monterrey
Yeah,
or Mueller,
exactly.
avoiding here. man.
So we also need the help from the private sector that start complaining about the 350, because that's what you're saying is
I
good.
don't
Share that
think they're complaining
video
about it. I
with-
think they didn't
with
know about it.
No, no,
That's why
there-
he went to San
So
Antonio,
There's,
he didn't know about it.
there's actually a complaint that is 350 is too much
I'll send it
from
over.
the private sector.
Send it, and I'll put it on our own Facebook, our own,
Okay.
my personal one, the one from NeighborWorks.
It's on Facebook. You can actually share the.
Couldn't find
They
it
use
there.
Twitter.
Buying
The
ads on
internet
Facebook.
isn't.
They use Twitter,
Not good.
Facebook, and Instagram, no?
Are you buying ads on Facebook?
They boost those posts. Not
They're
every,
posted, but
not
you're not
every,
buying ads on Facebook.
no.
No, they don't buy
Uh,
ads, they boost it, yeah, it's
yeah.
viral
You
thing.
can buy ads.
Yeah, you can buy ads.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can buy it.
We
In
can- we
Google,
can do a
that's
lot
what
of
they do it in
things.
Google.
But
In Google,
everything-
you're doing that, no? When
Yeah.
Google Laredo International, you're gonna have
we
the
can- we can do a
additional
lot of things that
ads on the
cost
site.
money, so.
Yeah, but I'm talking about,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, yes.
are you doing it, you know,
We'll
with
take your
travel agencies,
recommendations.
any type of, you know, look at, what are the kayak and all the different,
Yeah, kayak, the travel services, the travel applications, yeah.
so when you go there to.
Expedia, kayak, yeah.
Those things. That's where you wanna buy.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, I just needed, cause I don't know anything
Yeah.
about the contract, so. I
No,
mean,
that's what we're here for.
huh?
That's what we're here for.
No, so it's not it's a lot of money, but it's not a huge, I mean,
Yeah.
there is,
Yeah, last year was about 980,000, last year's subsidy, so this year, the total amount will be 552, so still less, still a lot of money.
Or less
I agree.
trips.
but I, like I say, in this time frame, Commissioner asked, or Chairman asked, what benefit is the city of Laredo? Are you seeing heads and beds? Are you seeing any revenue from it? Car rentals, anything?
You already had a year to study on this, basically.
Well, last year, I mean, it was not a good year for this.
Well, we understand that, but who were the clients last year?
They don't have that data to provide
Then
us.
it does you no good.
Yeah.
And we have to say something now to find out whether we agree, because the meeting's next week on Monday, so.
Yeah,
We have to make a commitment to say agree or disagree, you know, so.
Yeah, your
So then if you
recommendation.
get 12 people 3 times a week, like I said, if they're all locals, all you're doing is benefiting the local guy, you're subsidizing his flight that he's gonna take anyway.
And like I said, our option is just say, hey, thank you, but we don't want you guys anymore, and then see what city council says, so.
Well, say, I mean,
Ultimately, it's the city council who's going to
Yeah,
decide
but-
whether we say yes or no, and if they say yes, it's gonna be yes.
Yeah.
They kinda have the money already budgeted, so they already know what they wanna do, but the fact is if we're in agreement or not, so.
Yeah, well,
I'm not in agreement.
the
That's
contract
just
was
mine,
initially-
Only based on the marketing that I've never seen it, even since they started, I have never seen an ad. So that is the only reason why, that's just
the only
me.
thing I've seen is when it was in the paper, when it was announced, and
The addition of the contract is $162,000 more. I mean, we were already on the hook for 390,000. So it's an addition of 162,550.
So it's more, it's still,
Additional
it's
550.
additional.
It's an
Yeah,
additional
that's why-
162. I mean, we already needed to pay 390. So this is an additional 162. So
Total
regard,
amount that we offered is basically, including last year, which you said was 980 and now it's
980.
500, so it's close to $1.5 million that we're giving them just to fly
Altogether.
to Laredo.
yes. So even if you all don't agree with this, we still need to pay the 390.
We've already paid $396.
We already paid around 300,000, so we still owe them 90,000 according to the original
Well,
agreement.
That's not what it says here, no?
It didn't mention.
It doesn't mention what the year-to-date
No,
payment.
it does not.
Yeah, well, yeah, I read that somewhere.
In the full packet,
It says,
the
in this
contract-
agreement
Oh,
for the
look at the second
342,000
page. Look at the
The
second
background
page.
section,
Yeah,
no?
here.
In the background.
in the back, 342 combined with the monthly payments. Shall not exceed 552,000. So, 7.2.
I wanna ask you this question, because I wanna put this up for motion, why do we don't get a motion on this?
It still goes forward.
Still goes forward. You're an advisory,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
advisory.
But nobody motioned for it today, it's just something.
we tell the city
I don't know, Are
council.
we gonna be able to get a motion on this?
Yeah, I believe
You
so.
can get a motion, you can just take a vote.
Yeah, no, but,
I'm not gonna motion to approve.
that's why I
No,
kinda,
you can motion to disapprove.
Yeah, you motion to
Yeah.
approve and we tell city
Make a
council,
motion.
I'm
Not to
making a
recommend.
motion to
yeah,
disapprove.
the board does not approve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Not
for
to
the
go
record,
forward.
Does
just,
not recommend.
because we're
Not
just
recommend, yeah.
doing our due
So-
Thank you.
diligence.
August, September, October, November,
Was there a
December. So
second?
there, that's 200,000. Where do you get 160?
Was there a first? No. Motion?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
no, I haven't made, no, I-
There's no motion.
I haven't
There's still no
made
motion.
the
There's no motion yet.
The motion will be coming out here, so I'm just waiting for the first discussion for now.
So from here on, if they approve this, it's another 210,550.
210. No, well, the original contract is 390. I don't know where you get the, where.
Well, I'm looking at 7.2 and it says 342.
In the back.
In
Full
the
packet.
back? Where?
After the,
7.2
after
in the back, in the
the
contract.
communication.
To the council communication?
After. It's gonna be the
42,110
resolution, and then after the resolution,
Yeah.
the contract, or the amendment.
Okay, what page are you all looking at? 'Cause I'm-
It's page
It says
205,
205 in the back.
section 7, and then it's 7.2.
7.2.
Amendment prior to agreement 342.
Prior to the.
So
552.
the difference. $210, $550.
See, because I had a bunch of more questions on this, because you say, well, let's just say the ad campaign goes gangbusters, it works. It's saying it's offering 350. The city gets nothing if the flight's sold out, right? Well, the city-
We get nothing.
We get nothing.
It's only a subsidy. We're
So,
paying for the
I
subsidy.
understand, so they can't raise their ticket price more than 350.
No, no.
Yeah.
So
It's in
if
the
they get
contract.
60 people, it's 350 no matter.
Yes,
what.
yes.
Those were the other things, so, again, I just wanted to see, so I get, if you got August, September, October, November, December, that's at 42,000, that's 210,000, right?
210,000, 550.
210,550.
210, 550.
Yeah.
It says you already paid them 342 here, right?
Yes. According to
And
this,
that's gonna
yes.
give you the total of the thing. So if you stop today, like you say, if they stop on Monday and they say, we don't approve, you already lost 342, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you already subsidized.
Well, but you have subsidized it.
Yeah.
Subsidized 342.
yeah.
So it's just a matter of the 42,000 more per month.
That is
Yes.
correct.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Or are they still under the old contract?
Right now, they're on the old agreement.
This is an amendment.
Yes, an amendment.
What are the terms for termination under the old contract?
Well, I mean,
No, well,
it's
I
a-
mean, no.
it's,
What are the terms for termination?
it's a Mexican company. I mean, they can just pull
No,
the
no,
plug
no.
and.
What are the terms for city council's termination of the contract?
The terms for termination?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the contract?
No, because.
Do you know the
they just
contract
told
at
us
all?
that they were trying to
Yeah,
push
it's
off.
here. This is the contract.
No, this is the amended contract.
I didn't put the original contract, but I
There's
can
an
forward
amended
it to
contract,
you.
it's probably gonna have 60 days, 90 days, what are the termination agreements? Is it a mutual termination, what is it?
Yeah, mutual termination, they need to let us know.
No.
Within,
I'm asking about if city council wanted to terminate.
bring a copy.
Cause it may be 60 days, it may be 90 days, cause that already takes you to the end of the year anyway, almost, you know?
Okay, it's on page 305. Section 9.1, term and termination is deleted in its entirety and amended as follows.
But this is the amended version, so is that what's actually adopted already, or are you
That's what
amending
they're
that?
asking, that's what's going to be
Well,
presented
this
to
thing says
city
term and
council.
termination is deleted in its entirety and amended as follows. So, binding effect, amendment will be binding upon the short benefit of forcible excel express provided. Will be continued full force, the full amendment will be executed multiple counterparts. I don't know that, I haven't read the contract yet.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
see the original contract.
We're getting a copy.
The section
The
9.1 is
previous-
deleted.
The previous agreement will continue to be in full force,
Yeah.
so.
But what is your question about the contract? I mean, where the
What
council was
is the
to.
termination agreement?
Cause they
What
want
are
to
the
say we're out
terms,
next
no,
week.
He
I'm
was-
not worried
he-
about Mexican company walking.
He wants to know
I'm worried
that,
about
that's-
What options
what
does the
I'm
city
offering my
have?
council member to vote on,
Well, if the city decides not to pay, they can,
well, then you can get sued. So that's not a good thing. So I wanna know what the contract says, so I can inform my councilman what his opportunities to vote on. Because if it says,
pay in entirety. or-
well, yeah, no, it says, if it says you'd have to give 90 days notice, well, then we might as well continue. But if it says you can terminate at will,
Yeah.
well, then
There's a
he
difference.
needs to know that option.
To terminate the
majority
contract?
Anyway, so.
I'm saying, if you wanna save the $42,000 a month, you can terminate it well, but if it tells me, no, you have to give them a, written notice, and then upon receipt of written notice, it's another 90 days, well, then you might as well just go
Well,
to the end.
and also you need to take into consideration people who already bought tickets, what's gonna happen to those tickets and to those people, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Because it says terminate tomorrow, and you have a ticket for November, so what's gonna happen to the ticket to that
What's
man?
easier for the city to reimburse those tickets?
Yeah,
All 6 of them.
yeah.
Yeah, but regardless, the city council will make the decision, we're just gonna.
No, but I'm saying, I wanna know what
Yes.
my council member can vote.
It's a valid point, yes.
It should be 60 days notice, at least.
Should be, or you think? Or you know? Do you wanna move on to the other items till we have that?
Yeah, please, because I know we're over time already.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
it's 30 days.
So, in the meantime, while we're waiting for the contract, let's go ahead and move on to, what's that, recommendation number 4?
All right, consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council the authorization of the interim city manager to execute a lease agreement between the Laredo International Airport and Clear Choice ER located at 5210 Bob Bullock Loop at the Laredo International Passenger Terminal in a space consisting of 400 square footage, constituting a concession space on the first floor as
They already
depicted.
have their sign up and everything, no?
Yeah, in Exhibit A for the purposes of operating a COVID-19 testing center, for the purposes of providing COVID-19 testing, vaccinations, sale, distribution, and or donation and supplies as approved by the City Emergency Management Coordinator. For the public operations will be from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The lease term shall be for 1 year with one option to renew, and base rent shall consist of $2,000 per month.
And this is effective when?
Effective,
Because they've already been there, right?
they've been there, and this is consistent with the emergency management coordinator
So this is for your travelers?
for my travelers and for all the Laredo citizens that wanna come here and.
You really wanna bring COVID positive people into the airport?
Well, we've been doing that for the last 3 years.
Is that, I would,
I mean, we even removed the COVID vaccine because it was a safety hazard for all the people here. We had lines all over the
I know, I'm saying,
outside.
why would you want to have people who think they have COVID come here? Now, I can understand if it's for your fine public and you say everybody must have a test or something, but that doesn't seem to make sense to me.
It's open for the public, we cannot limit to the,
Huh?
Sometimes government doesn't.
No.
It's a public building.
yeah, it's a public building, so it's open for everyone. And we had this because the city emergency management coordinator controls all this now. So you
I
see
know
all
what I'm
the
saying.
security.
It's the stall that's right here next to the elevators, to the
Yeah.
escalators.
Yes.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, I mean, all the curatives that were all around the city.
I
Remember all those?
understand, but
No,
I'm saying,
well,
you know,
well, hear me out. Here where I'm going to. All the curatives that were around all the city. Well, they weren't paying any money. As these guys weren't paying any money, they had a lease for a couple of months, done 2-3 years ago, before my time. So the city realized that the curatives and all those people in town weren't paying any money to the city, so they created this master lease agreement where all these people that were for profit and not doing anything for the city, they were need to pay now profit. Now they needed to pay some
No, I
base rent
understand that.
to
It's for
everyone.
money.
And they fall into that, so we thought that they were gonna just say, well, we don't want it, and they were gonna be out. But to our surprise, they say, I think the rent is excessive, but oh well, we wanna continue with the lease and we will pay the $2,000, so.
That's revenue for the
It
airport.
doesn't make no sense to me why you would bring, me now knowing, I don't fly commercial very often, but I don't wanna come in and see that thing right next to, so COVID people touch the escalator or whatever, no. If it was somewhere else, I understand if it was on the second floor, and you already checked in, hey, I need to be tested, fine, I need a certificate for Guadalajara, whatever, fine.
Well, we did offer, we did everything based on the ordinance provided by the
understand.
city, and we're just complying and offer them the
And
space
your
at the.
emergency manager's okay with this?
Yeah, they are, they
They're
provided,
recommending
yeah,
that approve the lease?
they approved the lease, and we're based on this, ourselves on the space provided, the square footage and everything,
I'll still
and
vote
came
it.
out to that.
No, somebody make a motion,
All right, discussion and all that, go ahead.
No, just a question then, is it gonna be now again mandatory at least to come into the airport wearing face mask at least, or?
It's optional.
No.
It's optional,
No,
we
it's
cannot
not,
force it.
we haven't received anything.
It's a federal law, so we need to follow TSA rules.
Taking into consideration information, we know, I think we want to wear masks.
You can wear the mask if you want to.
Yeah,
It's-
you can't.
But,
It's not mandatory.
that being said, is there a motion to approve or disapprove?
I'll make a motion to disapprove.
Recommendation.
Second?
But it's exclusively only for COVID tests, or they're gonna provide another
It's only recommended.
kind of services?
Just COVID test.
Solo para COVID test.
And you have
Digo,
to-
porque lo
We have a
justificaría
motion.
si tuviéramos una instalación que a veces atiende emergencias de pasajeros, pues estaría bien tenerla.
If it's open to the public,
Sí,
to the general public, that's
Yes.
why I'm saying no.
Yeah. And you have to pay, or your insurance will pay.
Your
okay.
insurance plan.
Yeah.
What's the cost, you know?
I believe it's 260 or 160, something like that, last time I.
But it's PBR test, or,
PCR.
PCR.
PCR or rapid test?
This was a $2,000.
Yeah, it used to be 8, man.
Okay,
They
no
must be
second?
having people to come up with.
Yeah, well, that's,
They also
we
like-
thought that we're gonna bail out because it was $2,000 rent, but, I mean,
Yeah.
he complained that it was excessive, the rent, but I'll stay.
I understand that.
That was his
Okay,
answer.
they're making, I don't know, they're making money somewhere.
They're making money,
Oh,
for
no,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
Why were they there without rent for the longest time though?
Emergency.
Emergency management?
Emergency, man.
Yeah, that's how they came in. That's how they came in.
Until
They
the
came
city
in
said,
with
you know
the-
what, no more free?
Yes.
No more free.
Well, if
We
emergency management is
we
gonna
were
be
ready to
having-
kick them
yeah,
out.
charge them something, but
For the sake of time, I'm looking for a second.
Yeah, or sales for less.
Yeah. Anybody second for or want to make a motion? I got one motion, Mr. Galo, for disapprove.
Sales for lack of second.
Not
No.
recommend.
Nobody second it?
Not to recommend.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
Well, we don't have a second, do we?
We don't have a second, so.
Well, you can't
Can't
call for
vote?
the.
You can vote if you don't have a
call for the
second.
vote.
Yeah.
No
So
vote.
fails for lack of second.
So for lack of
So
second.
is there an
Motion
alternate
to approve? No?
Motion to approve.
So that
Somebody-
means
somebody
there's no
needs
vote
to-
because there's
somebody
no-
needs to do
fell
it.
for lack of second, but with that being said, is there any motion making,
Not to make it
to
for
make a
approve.
change to?
Somebody, you have to make a motion to approve
Motion to,
and take a
or
vote.
change or
I
alternate
mean,
or.
we're
make
all
an
just getting
adjustment to
$2,000 out of it.
Motion to recommend.
So the emergency management is already, is
No.
wanting them to be here, or they're,
Has to be us.
I mean,
recommended
they're
them.
complying with all the requirements by the emergency management coordinator, and we're charging them whatever we need to charge
This-
them, which
this
is
is the current
$2,000.
This current contract.
No, it's better than not having
So
anyone.
it goes on.
Not having.
Yeah,
30
I go to
days,
that.
30 days.
Yeah, so at least we're getting $2,000 before we
Yeah.
weren't getting
We're
anything.
going
well,
24,000
I'll make
a
a
year.
motion to approve. I know there's,
Okay.
but for two, we need
we need
to
a
have
second.
revenue coming in, and for them not to be paying
Who-
anything,
Who
no.
seconded?
Yeah.
Second on that?
I'm gonna second.
Okay.
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Not a-
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Mr. Galo,
One opposed.
one opposed, they're all in favor.
You know, I'm always alone.
All right, let's go back up to the number 3, we got the contract here, it looks like there's a 30-day.
30 days,
30
another 30 days, so you're already to the end of the year, so. Go ahead and approve.
Okay, motion?
To recommend. the-
Motion to recommend.
30 days,
Motion to recommend.
and then after
And then
that,
30 days to negotiate, and then you have to send another 30-day termination letter, and so.
So it's the 60
You're right.
days.
at least 60
So
days.
motion to recommend approval, I guess. Or to motion to recommend this amendment, right?
Right.
Mr. Galo,
Here's the
motion to
contract.
recommend, you got a second on that?
Second.
Voting
George?
against.
Okay. Okay, all
I
in
mean, you're gonna be
favor?
there anyway, that's the
Aye.
problem. Otherwise, that's
And I follow your logic, because
Yeah.
right fight, we're gonna end up paying anyway at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I just want more marketing.
no, yeah, well,
That's-
we,
that's-
we
and
should,
more
That's the only
Well, you know
reason
what,
why.
that,
we can make that a stipulation to the, I mean, as a recommendation
Make
to the
it-
council.
If we can do that, I'll motion to approve with,
No, that's-
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
If
do you
can
wanna
make
amend your motion then?
Amend your motion.
Okay, yeah, I would like to include that, to make sure we recommend approval, but we also would recommend that
More
we
marketing.
must
But the-
have more marketing.
The motion was
Yeah.
done by Mr. Narvaez, no? He needs
Yeah.
to, he needs
No,
to.
he was
I-
second.
I made the
He was
motion.
I made the motion,
No,
yes,
and-
second.
George made second.
So if the second will amend the
My
motion.
motion will also amend his,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
follow his, I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
So the motion is to increase marketing, to make sure that we kind of promote this, and then.
Recommendation,
Second has already been approved by George as well.
But
All
to,
in-
but if I may, but to use, media outlets that the general public can
You're
see,
talking,
social.
you're talking to.
Taking consideration the millennials and the young
Yes.
generation.
Well, I would think, yeah. Definitely, social media,
Yeah, at least
Facebook
one
and
week,
Twitter.
at least do one
For
week
baby
of
boomers all the way up.
television per month,
We'll do that.
For baby
One
boomers all the way up.
Okay.
of television per month, and then
Starting
I'll
from the-
agree.
From the 40s and 30s.
Baby boomers are from the 40s, so
I
from
gotta
baby
go get
boomers.
another Zoom right
Okay,
now.
there you go. Okay, so.
We'll do that.
we're almost finished, so I guess, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition?
All right.
So that was those were the motions. So I guess we got all 4, now we got requests.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Request status update on consultant services agreement between the City of Laredo and Rafael Dueñas Senior, doing business as Remco Group Incorporated for Economic Development Consulting Services. Mr. Chairman, this was a request on the last meeting. At this point, I have nothing to report. There has been no movement, no request or anything to pay anything from the airport. So there has been no work done or anything
I just-
requested from the
I would like
airport.
to monitor and to make sure that, you know, if there is any money paid, what kind of promotion Laredo did get out of this one individual and how it benefited us, because that 67 could have been done to pay
The commercial.
Yeah,
Marketing.
Yeah, so, and the thing, and like, everyone knows, he's just another broker, he's going out there saying he's promoting Laredo, he's promoting his own business, he's not promoting Laredo, so.
Yeah.
So no work has been done and nothing has been paid out?
Nothing has been paid out. I have not received any bill from the Economic
activity.
Development Department, so no
Are you
activity.
just can he just bill you?
He already got it approved by
He
council, so that's
he
why
got
the
a
money's
contract
flowing.
approved by council for 67,000. Half of it should be benefit from the airport, and we will get
And
billed.
how does he demonstrate what he
That's
did?
what we wanna know.
That's why,
Yeah.
that's why.
That's what they're asking.
When we get that first.
That's what they're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, motion, anything else, any discussion, comment for next?
Or
month?
any other request for
Any
next
question?
meetings that we.
Just to
need
follow up on this item that we had discussed right now, just to make
So
sure.
you
that-
want a recurring for every
Recurring.
meeting?
It's an open item.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the status on the building, the realtor, to get those buildings leased up?
Well, we received an email from Mr. Kelly that he's working on a proposal. Okay. And so we're still pending on receiving
Okay.
his proposal.
All right.
And but we've been doing really good lately,
If
and
not,
we
then just
women.
go, you
if
know, we
he-
need
if
to
he-
get those buildings.
if he
We're
doesn't-
losing a lot of money.
Well,
for
if he
vacant
does,
buildings.
if he doesn't hurry, Manuel and myself might be renting everything because we're doing really good in the
Rent
last
it.
couple of
If
weeks.
we need to rent it.
We have a couple
Make
of.
up some money for marketing.
We have a couple of meetings in the next few days, and we might rent everything out.
Three buildings.
Well,
Yeah.
if
That's
it's gonna
good.
be, I don't have a problem with somebody speaking, but if it's gonna be non-airport related, I mean, if it's just rent to rent, then you need to have a termination clause in there that's beneficial to the city. Because if you do get somebody that's gonna be, that needs tarmac, that needs access or whatever, then, you know, there's only so many.
We were looking around the surrounding buildings, not even there.
Let me,
That's-
let me
we're like,
tell-
That's surrounding
Let
buildings.
me tell you a termination clause that we had on one lease. The termination clause was to leave the lot as it was before the construction. So termination clause, you're leaving, you remove all the improvements and.
No, why do you want them to do that?
Because that was an old building, it was a mobile home, and they remove it and they left. And grading, we stipulate, the lot has to be graded as it was original and everything, so they did all the asbestos abatement.
Okay, but we're talking about offsite stuff.
Yes.
Offsite.
No, but I'm talking about tarmac
Oh,
or anything.
inside, sorry.
Okay, motion approved.
What?
To adjourn.
Motion to adjourn,
To adjourn.
second. Second, okay, so.
Hey, I-
We can end it.